Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you hadn't already guessed, today I am going to be doing a Spotlight Eye Blue Shadow look. This was inspired by Mmmmitchell. If you don't already follow him on Instagram, then you really need to, because his work is just absolutely unreal. Yeah, so I'm going to be testing out the Plouise base today as well. And this is the look that I will end up with. So I did my first eye off camera because I just wanted to practice and know what colours I was going to use for this. So I'm going to jump straight in and get on with the second eye. So for my base, I'm going to be using the Plouise eyeshadow base, which has been absolutely raved about. This is the first time I've actually used it and I do really like it. The colour payoff is amazing. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that on the back of my hand and I'm going to use my Zoeva 226 smudger brush and I'm just going to carve out the brow, and then I'm going to use a fluffy brush to pat this into the skin, because Plouise always says to use a patting motion to set it, as she thinks that this is what works best. So once I've just placed that all over the lid, I'm then going to use a fluffy brush from Real Techniques. This is called the Domed Eyeshadow Brush, and I'm just going to use that to just to pat in the base. So once all that's set, I'm not going to set it with a powder because that's not what Plouise says to do. So I'm going to go straight in with my eyeshadow, and today I'm using the Take Me to Brazil palette by BH Cosmetics, and I'm going to be taking this pale purple shadow and I'm going to just take that through the crease. I really just want to buff out the edges as I'm doing this. So once I've blended that out, I'm then going to go in for my next shade, and it is going to be this pale like aqua blue, and I'm going to take that on my BH Cosmetics number 6 brush, and I'm going to start building this onto the edges of my eye, and then I'll run a tiny bit through the crease. These shadows are so good, but like can you see that? The amount that comes off when you tap it is ridiculous. Okay, so I'm going to push this onto the outer corner. And once I have done that, I'm going to then take the right on the tip of my brush, and I'm just going to run a really small amount through the crease, just so they both meet. I'm then going to go in with the brush I had the purple shade on, and I'm just going to make sure those edges are blended. I'm going to then add a darker shade. So for this, I'm going to take this shade here. I'm going to go ahead and pick that up again on the same brush that I just used, and I'm only going to pick it up on one side of the brush. This just makes it a lot cleaner to work with. I'm then going to create my spotlight. I'm just going to go back in my smudger brush and some of the Plouise base, and I'm just going to make sure my brush is nice and coated, and I am going to start making that spotlight shape. So whenever I'm creating spotlights, I always will take the product straight down the lid to where I think the crease is. I will then look straight in front of me, and I will then start to carve out. So you are then left with something that looks like this. I'm then going to just clean the excess off of my brush, and then I'm going to pat over the edges so they're a lot easier to blend. It doesn't matter if you lose that shape because you're going to go back in with your eyeshadows anyway. I'm then going to just again clean that brush, and I'm going to go in with this lighter shade. It looks white on camera, but it's almost like it's got like a lime tinge to it, and that's the brightest eyeshadow I actually had. So I'm going to then take that just down the centre of my lid just before I go in with the other eyeshadows, just because I want to make sure this crease is really, really sharp. So weird, I don't know why they would have put a black in here and then not a white, like, because they're next to each other, so it's almost like it's meant to be white but it's like lime. But whatever. So I'm then going to take that pale blue shadow again, and I am going to start to blend over that. And I'm then going to go in with the darker shade and just go over that again. But this time I'm not going to bring it in as far as I have for the lighter blue, because I still want that colour to show through. So I'm going to take that darker shade and just pack that on. So I just went ahead and applied my eyelashes. I used the Tatty Lashes in TL31. I find that all Tatty Lashes are just amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and prep my skin, and today I am going to use, I'm just going to put a little bit of Aveeno moisturiser on because I've got a little dry patch on my nose. So I'm just going to apply a tiny bit of this just on top of my nose and then just spread it around. I really want to try the YSL, I think it's called All Hours Primer. I think I might go and buy it this weekend because I feel like I need it. So, one of them ones. Right, and I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Born This Way foundations. I don't know if nude is going to be a little bit light, as I did apply a tiny bit of tan. So I'm just going to apply this. Okay, yeah. Oh, just dripping down my finger. Okay, so that is too light. So I'm just going to add a tiny bit of the darker shade. So this shade was Nude. Oh my god. Makeup wipe. I get so messy. You should see the state of my table right now. Okay, so that shade was Nude, and now I'm going to add a little bit of Warm Beige if I have any left. Oh, it's going to splatter. This was like my go-to foundation in the summer last year, so it's pretty empty. I'm just going to dot a tiny bit of that around. That should be enough. And I'm just going to go in with my damp beauty blender and work that in. If you guys have any videos that you want me to film, then please just put it in the comments on any video, just because I really I want to do some stuff that, you know, yous have asked for. I want to do some challenges as well, and oh my god, no. I knew that foundation was splattering. What did I say? So once my foundation is blended in, I am then going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light Sand, and I'm going to use this to conceal and highlight under my eye. And then again with my damp beauty blender, just And once that is all blended, I'm then going to go in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. And again, I'm just going to take this on a damp-ish beauty blender and apply this to set under my eyes. I'm just going to use my Too Faced Mr. Right brush to just buff that off everywhere else. And I'm going to go in and do my under eye. A little bit nervous, don't want it to fall out down my face. So I'm going to just take that MAC brush and that purple shade, and I am going to, there is a lot of fallout with these shadows as well. I'm going to like press this under my eye. Right, and I'm now going to take a really small, I'm going to take this small Luxe pencil brush by Zoeva, and I'm going to take that dark blue shade and I'm going to run this a lot really close to my lash line. And then I think I'm going to add a tiny bit of blue eyeliner to my waterline, and I'm going to be using the Bourjois Waterproof Contour Clubbing Liner in Sea Blue Soon. Sea Blue Soon. And I'm just going to put that in my waterline. Sorry, you literally can't even see it. Ow. I just stabbed myself. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do my other eye and I will be back. Now I'm going to warm up my face using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. And I'm just going to be taking this middle bottom shade that's nearly run out, my BH Cosmetics brush number 3, and I'm just going to apply a small bit of this just to contour before adding some bronzer. Don't want too much of this, as this is, I'm not bronzing with this, I just want it as like a base. Because I think contouring looks so nice. Like, I never really do contour, but when you do, and you've got all the different shades, I think that looks really nice. So I'm now going to go in with my bronzer, and for this I'm going to be using the Too Faced medium deep chocolate one. And I'm just going to apply this one a little bit higher than the contour and a bit more onto my cheekbones. These colours have actually come out so bright. I actually really underestimated, well, I didn't underestimate the base, but I mean, I knew it would work because I've seen so many people do it, but I don't know, you know when you don't expect it, like you've seen people do it, use it, and you've seen how the colour payoff is, but you don't expect it when you actually come to do it. But really, really happy with it. I'm then going to apply some highlighter. So for this I'm going to be using the Iconic London Illuminator Drops in the shade Original, just because I really want to be quite dewy. So I just take a little dollop of that, a little bit of that on the back of my hand, and I just pat that around until my sponge is nicely coated, not too much though, and then take that straight onto the face and just really, really bounce it in, because you don't want it to look patchy, because it sometimes can with this product. Especially when you've applied so many powders. then going to go over that. Whoa, that's pretty intense. Just a little bit there. I'm then going to go over that with my Becca Moonstone, just to add a little bit more. And I'm also going to take this in the inner corner and under my brow bone. I'm just going to use a softer, finer brush, and I'm just going to spray a little bit of Fix Plus onto that. So once I have done that, I'm then going to add a little bit of blusher, and of course I'm going to use the California by Benefit, and a tiny bit of that on top. Sometimes I find when you apply blusher on top of the illuminator drops, it really sticks onto it, but it actually looks okay. Okay, so onto lipstick. I think with this look I'm going to keep it pretty nude and simple. So I'm going to take my MAC Strip Down liner and I'm going to line my lips. I want this to be quite a light nude, so I'm going to then take Peach Stock by MAC and just go over this. And then to finish it off, my favourite, you would have seen me use this because I use it in nearly every video, my Kiko lip gloss in the shade 2. I'm obsessed with lip gloss at the moment. So this is my finished look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on the Mitchell inspired look. I actually really like these colours on my eyes. Yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. So if you want to see more from me, then please subscribe, and if you did enjoy this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Thank you.